Hi, my name is Casey. I'm 19 and I suffer from depression, anxiety and obsessive compulsive disorder. Looking back, I can tell that my OCD has always been part of my life, but I wasn't diagnosed until about 8 months ago, and it's been getting worse in the past year. Specifically the past couple of months as well, it's kind of been progressing faster than I knew possible.
OCD can happen to anyone. I had a normal childhood too, as you can see here.
A lot of people have the misconception that OCD is hand washing or being a neat freak and controlling, which it really isn't. As you can see around me, I'm not really a neat freak, but there are things that have to be done in certain ways to prevent bad things happening. OCD is made up of obsessions and compulsions. The obsessions are bad thoughts, intrusive thoughts that you can't control, and they can be you getting hurt or your family getting hurt. It could be you hurting people, or it could be religious or sexual, or it could be terrifying nightmare things that they make you feel guilty and scared. They make you so anxious you'd do anything to prevent these things from actually happening, and that's where the compulsions come in, which is they're kind of rituals and acts that you do to get rid of the bad thoughts. For me specifically, the intrusive thoughts are the worst part of my OCD. I can be lying in bed at night and I'll get a thought just come into my head and I can't get rid of it no matter how hard I try. I got one a couple of months ago saying, "This bed is shaky. If you move even an inch during the night, it will break underneath you and the poles will go through you and you will die from this." And that was so scary. It's made me not sleep in my bed for 4 months now. I now sleep on the sofa everywhere. I just can't sleep in a bed. I'm too scared, which is a big problem. And it's hard to explain to people as well. And then I can be lying trying to sleep as well, and it'll say, "You can't go to sleep. You haven't turned your plug on four times specifically, and because of that, a house fire is going to happen, and it'll be your fault." I mean, it doesn't make sense. I know it doesn't make sense, but it tells me that I have to do things certain ways to stop these bad things happening, and I'm too scared for them to actually happen that I'll do the compulsions, however stupid they may seem. Living with OCD can be scary. I get intrusive thoughts wherever I go. I'll be walking down the street and see someone standing at a bus stop, and suddenly these thoughts will come into my head where you're going to push him in front of that bus and you're going to kill him, and that scares me. I'd never do something like that, and I have to do a compulsion like counting backwards from 21 while I'm walking past him to make sure that I don't push him, and then I'll feel guilty, like everyone else is looking at me, they know what I was thinking, they know what a bad person I am, even though I'd never do something like that. It can be hard and time consuming. I've functioned, but it affects the way I see people. I mean, if my friends don't reply to me, or if someone shows up late, I have horrible thoughts that something bad's happened to them. They could have been in a car crash, or I'd go on the way to school, I'd plan what would happen if we got kidnapped. Because if I didn't know what to do, it'd be my fault. So I'd always blame myself for that, and that can be hard. It can be time consuming, very time consuming. Like if I don't do things in 21 seconds, I have to redo them, and that can be hard. And I don't think people understand how hard it is for people with OCD, which is why Minds Like Ours are trying to reach out and stop the stigma that's happening. I mean, if you know someone who has OCD, you need to be there for them and be understanding and make sure they know that things aren't their fault. Just try and respect that they can't help the compulsions. They only do them to protect themselves and to protect you guys as well. So try and be there for them, and Minds Like Ours is always there too, because it's a great group of people, and I can say that because I'm one of them, and we'll always be there for everyone.